How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to the Somnium files. We think we know who the killer is? Well, it's confusing, because it's, was it Saito? Sajima? In her body? We're gonna, interrogate her anyway, I think. Give me the details of each crime.
Before I do, there's something I want to hear from you.
No!
How did you know about the prototype sync machine? And not only that, you also seem to know what the sync machine is truly capable of.
You told me.
Why is that?
That's...
Regaining your memories, are you? Human memory is fractal. If you retain even a single piece of it, it's possible to recreate the whole thing. Pieces of memories are like roots that grow into every corner of the brain, gradually, slowly, taking its time. I imagine the same thing is happening in your brain right now.
You're just trying to mess with me, lady.
A
Knock it off.
fractal is a figure with self-similarity.
What does that mean?
Allow me to explain. See this?
Yep.
Whichever fragment you cut, you will see a similar shape. The whole is made up of its similar parts. This is called a fractal figure. Memories
I've
in
seen the
brain
triangle
are
before.
similar. That is what he is explaining. He is claiming that from a few pieces, you can rebuild the memory.
I knew about the prototype from regaining my memory. Is that right? No, that's not it. So we didn't learn about the prototype in this run. We learned about it in another run and it carried over.
Parallel worlds exist.
It's Iris. Why did it say unknown? Who was inside Iris during the interrogation Sunday?
I'm telling you, it was me. Why are you making me repeat myself?
Why are you being crazy?
That means the Somnium I entered on Sunday.
It was hers.
That's right.
It was his.
It was me.
Saito. How? How does he know about the original Cyclops killer? And something else was troubling me.
What's going on here?
Continue. Yeah, I think you
Fine.
better.
I still have time.
You're not going anywhere.
You'll see. So, where do you want me to start?
It's just past midnight on Tuesday. Shoko was killed on Friday. If we think of that as day 1, today is day 5. What was Saito doing those days? I decided to ask him. Day 1?
Like you guessed, my personality was in Shoko, Renju's ex-wife. That made calling Renju easy. I need to talk to you about something. He came over without question. I think it was around 4 p.m. I had him meet me at the chemical plant. I made Renju go to sleep. Synced, switched personalities, and then stabbed Shoko's discarded body with an ice pick. I took Shoko to Bloom Park by car, using the old abandoned subway line. Must have been around 8 p.m. by the time I was finished. I tied up Shoko to one of the merry-go-round horses.
You're having a good time, aren't
After
you?
that, I used Renju's phone to send a Nile message to Mizuki.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious.
Then, I just waited for Mizuki to arrive.
Day 2?
Until next Saturday evening, my personality was inside Renju. My next target was Iris.
Because...
I knew she would be suspicious if I asked her to come to Kawasaki, so I asked her to come to Sunfish Pocket first.
Okay.
I called her a little before 5 p.m., and she arrived just after 6. I greeted her, then convinced her to come with me. That's when Ota saw us. Anyway, I put her in the car, then headed to the chemical plant. On the way, I made her take a sleeping pill. I knew she might run once she saw where we were going. It was around 7 p.m. when I got there, and I wasted no time switching bodies. After getting Iris's body, I used a rolled-up apron to strangle Renju to death. Then I put his body in an empty oil drum I'd prepared earlier. I put that in the trunk of the car, then headed to Sunfish Pocket. But then, something I didn't anticipate happened. Waiting for the signal in Akiba, someone knocked on the window of the car. It was Ota. He asked me something about being able to drive. He was surprised, to say the least. I didn't have time to waste on him. But I couldn't risk him finding the oil drum in the trunk. Plus, if word got around that Renji's car was spotted driving around Akiba, that would foil my plans. So, I came up with a lie. I told him that I didn't have a license, so he had to keep it a secret. That's what that thing referred to in Ota's Nile messages, by the way. And just like that, I managed to escape a bad situation and headed to Sunfish Pocket as planned. The rest went exactly as you already figured out.
Yep. Sorry, I got something in my throat today. God damn. Annoying. Day 3.
Sunday morning, I had a recording or some such thing scheduled. Oh, I am, of course, referring to Iris.
Yes.
I didn't want to draw suspicion, so I decided to attend as planned. I went to Lemniscate and performed my job. And when I left, I ran into you, Date. To be honest, I was a little surprised. Just the previous night, I was a parasite in the body of Renju. I didn't think Ota had seen me. So, of course, I didn't expect to see you there so soon.
Indeed.
You were on to me, but there was nothing I could do about that. If I ran, it would only increase your suspicion.
Why didn't you just kill us?
So I decided to play my role. The interrogation began around 8:20 p.m., is that right?
Yeah.
Then you synced into my mind. But you didn't get what you were looking for, did you?
No.
As a result, you had no choice but to release me. I didn't want to go home right away. I knew there might be police waiting for me. That would make it difficult to sneak out at night. And that would put my plan in jeopardy. So I asked you to take me to Marble. I tried to find an opportunity to run, but then another unexpected event occurred.
I don't like this lady. Or guy. Whatever.
I got a Nile message from Ota. I knew I could use him. So I told him I needed his help and to meet me at Marble. He did as I instructed him to do. After that, I got into the van with Ota. But because his presence was unnecessary, I asked him to stop at a convenience store to buy me something to drink. When he was gone, I took his car and drove to my parents' house where I used to live. Yes, the Sejima residence.
Yeah. You killed your dad.
Of course, I knew I couldn't just walk up and ring the doorbell. Hello, Father, it's been a long time. I was also in Iris's body at the time. But I thought I could use that to my advantage. So I pushed on the intercom and sure enough, my dad invited me inside. I told him this. I want you to come with me. There's something I need to show you. He was quiet for a while, but eventually agreed and got into the van with me.
It's the perfect body to attract him out.
We arrived at the prototype sync machine around 11:50 p.m. By the time I was in the body of Sosejima, it was a new day.
Carry on.
This was yesterday, early Monday morning, past midnight. In my new body, I drugged Iris, put her in the van, and drove to a new location. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse.
Yep.
I arrived around 1, then prepared for the show for a couple hours. Of course, when I say show, I mean dismembering Iris.
Yeah.
Because of the temperature in the warehouse, it took longer than I expected to prepare, but... well, you saw it in the video. Of course, I didn't anticipate Ota would show up. What does that make it?
That's still horrible.
3 times that brat has showed up unexpectedly? That annoyed me to no end, and I took that out on him. Dressing him up in the polar bear was an impromptu plan on my part.
It's clever.
I didn't mean to make you think he was the killer. I just wanted to throw a wrench into the investigation.
Worked.
Didn't matter if you found out or not. This all happened Monday morning. I left the warehouse around 3:30 a.m.
Day 4?
There isn't much to talk about on Monday. Before noon, I used my old man's body to call this one Boss. You might not know this, but she and my father go back about 6 years.
Didn't know that, no.
Shared a terrible secret. Hinting at that was enough to get the boss to come running
What
to me
terrible
immediately.
secret? Ooh.
I injected her with a sedative,
Interesting.
and brought her body to the chemical plant. I synced with her, exchanged our bodies. And after blowing my father's brains out, I cut his body into pieces.
Stuck him in a vase. I remember.
Stuffed the meat into a vase I'd brought earlier, then drove back to my house.
Continue. Go on. Sounds like you've had quite the busy week. Saito spoke with grace and no sign of remorse. I was trying to keep my anger from boiling over and kept asking him questions. Why'd you take out your victim's eyes?
You know all about the prototype sync machine, don't you? I should
Vaguely.
explain it.
I knew. Prototype sync machine differed from the one at Abyss in a few key ways. The machine at Abyss is more sophisticated. You have to take an eye out to make it work. Nano cables from the sync gear enter through the gap between the eyeball and the socket. They then travel down the optic nerve canal to the brain. But the prototype sync machine isn't so advanced. To perform a sync, you need to remove the left eye, manually. The subject and syncer have to remove their eye from their socket, otherwise the cables cannot enter the brain. Of course, even with the eye removed, severing the connection to the brain isn't necessary. The extracted eyeball still has the optic nerve and blood vessels connected. After a sync, the eye is supposed to be replaced back into the socket. It's supposed to be safe, side effects are rare. Unless the nerve or blood vessels are damaged somehow, replacing the eyeball isn't too difficult. Then why didn't you replace theirs, but you did replace yours? More?
Of course, I don't really care about eyes. I don't need them. All I cared about was exchanging bodies with the sync. And for that, I needed to remove the left eye.
Okay.
Why didn't you just put the eyes back when you were done?
That's obvious. Once I was finished transferring into a new body, the old one was of no concern to me. Why would I bother replacing the eye? I was just going to get rid of it anyway.
Why didn't you just leave it dangling there then? Where are the eyeballs that you removed?
Shoko's is in Renju. Renju's is in Iris. Iris's is in Dad. Dad's is in Boss.
You like to eat them. You're a freak.
Their stomachs, I mean.
You sick bastard.
Yeah.
Yes, I ate them. Immediately after exchanging personalities.
How horrible.
What's your motive?
Homicide is my hobby. I have a tenacity for it, what can I say? Of course, it was also necessary to make sure people kept their mouths shut. If I took over someone's body, they would know about my crimes. I couldn't risk them reporting me, so I killed them. It was also a matter of revenge. Against you. It's personal. That's why I chose people close to you as targets. Well, except for
Freaking
my
moth.
father, of course. That was personal to me. But don't ask. It's embarrassing.
Revenge against me?
This series of murders was like a journey for me. You know, traveling through bodies to finally reach the end. That's the thing about traveling. You always wind up in the same place, don't you? Where do you think that is? Your home. A trip is only complete once you return home. The same goes for me. When I return home, my travels will come to an end. So I'll be needing it back. My body.
What?
You stole my body. You took it from me 6 years ago. That's
Who are we, though?
why I want revenge.
I
What are you
figured that
talking
much, but
about?
who are we?
You have no idea what it was like inside my own head. I miss it. I miss my brain, Date. No matter how many people I killed, it never worked. I never felt happy. I feel miserable.
You mean?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oh, that's right. My old body. How are you finding it, Date?
It's fine. This body is yours?
That's what I've been telling you!
I don't have the same oxytocin deficiency you did.
That is because I regularly supplement it. They must have increased your dosage too much.
No, but the person who had this disorder was number 89, the original Cyclops killer.
That is what I believed as well. But we must have misunderstood. Pewter did not specify who exactly was imprisoned. Only
Didn't-
that one of the original culprits responsible was currently in prison.
Okay.
Strange. That would mean number 89 is the previous chairman, Rohan.
What?
That must be it. Rohan is a parasite inside number 89's brain. Pewter must have known that.
No way.
I was confused. I'm confused. I didn't understand any of it. So who's who
Let us
and what?
determine the specifics using Saito as our starting point.
Yes.
Whose brain was he in before Boss?
So Sejima.
And before So?
Iris.
Iris. And before that, Renji.
Rinchu. And then Shoko.
And before that, Shoko.
Then who? Us?
And before Shoko?
Whose body were you in before Shoko?
I was a parasite inside Rohan's brain 6 years ago until last year. I'd lost most of my memories. I was a shell of a man. They housed me in a special hospital.
That's why Rohan just randomly
I
went
still
crazy.
had those fragments of my mind left, just as I explained earlier. From a single piece, you can recreate the whole. I took my time, slowly regaining my memories. 1 year ago, I remembered everything. I left the hospital and immediately sought out Shoko Nadami.
What?
I got her body, and she was in Rohan's. When she saw herself in the mirror, she lost her mind. She was confused, panicking, running up the emergency staircase, and then...
That's why Rohan committed suicide.
Makes
After
sense.
that, I spent a year perfecting my plan.
This is crazy.
In Shoko's body. I spied on you all this time. That's why I know everything about you.
Who were you before Rohan?
In there, in that body you are
Okay.
operating right now, in that skull, my personality lived there.
Wait, hold on.
That's why
If
So
what you're
said
saying
the
is
thing
true,
about
what about my personality?
his own father or whatever.
It was in Rohan.
I'm not Rohan!
Correct. It is just as he explained earlier. Number 89 was in Rohan's body.
We're number 89?
In other words,
That's... my real...
Well, Iris's father, or father figure. So we're pretty bad guys too then. Okay. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Sorry, but time's up. I want my body back.
Go to hell.
It's quite simple. Sync with me and stay inside my mind for more than 6 minutes.
Why don't we kill
And
him?
if I refuse?
I know that you won't. I know it.
Huh?
Date, look! This is streaming live!
What's she done? Her timing. Which is our missus, our girlfriend, apparently, if we're number 89.
Damn you!
If you give me back my body, I will give you the location. Oh, and of course, it isn't the chemical plant in the Kawasaki district.
Iba, where's the source?
it is being routed through numerous IPs.
Of course.
I cannot identify the source.
Computer, contact headquarters, now!
Got it!
Now, what will you do? Will you agree to my request?
No.
Date, I'm hurt. Don't you care about what happens to her?
Still no.
Do you understand the gravity of the situation?
You're not gonna let me say no, are you?
Strapped to her body.
No.
You're too stubborn. Or maybe you're just cold-hearted.
Like you.
You want to see what will happen when her flesh burns and tears and scatters?
Do I have to say yes?
If you aren't quick, you'll see the whole thing. You know I'm not bluffing, don't you?
One more time. I didn't agree no matter how many times he demanded it of me. I refused again and again. Am I gonna regret that? Yep, I regretted it. At least he didn't get his body back. When I saw it, I understood. Boss's body rolled into the corner of the room. I didn't want to think anymore. Anything, nothing. I closed my eyes and ran my palm across my face. I could taste blood. Bad end. Alright, we'll do that bit again. Obviously. I bet we got an achievement for that. Guaranteed. I am too stubborn though. Okay, we're back. We're back after that bad decision, but you know what? Let's do it.
Date!
See,
I said no like 6 times and it
confused.
failed.
I know you well, don't I, Date?
Shut up. Of course you don't. I said no 6 times and then got a bad ending. I did the opposite of what you expected. Crap, is this gonna be like a puzzle one or what? Or did we just swap? We just swapped? Yep. This is worse. He's gonna be even crazier now. He's gonna have the brain deficiency back.
I did it. I did it.
We need Iba back.
I got it all back.
Hey, where's Hitomi?
All right, I'll tell you as promised. Boss's house. However, it might be too late by now.
What?
That's why you're stalling for time. See, saying no was the best idea anyway.
Why?
Return my body and I'll tell you the location. That's what I said. I didn't lie. I kept my promise.
Well, you're stuck here now.
You're the one who injured that body. It's your own fault, really.
Computer, kill this fuck.
Be seeing you.
Oh, thanks, Iba. Computer, cap this guy. That worked. You saved the day, Iba.
Are you alright?
Don't worry about me. Iba's voice barely resonated. My eyesight was hazy, a heap of broken images. Sweat was building on my palms. I felt like my throat was closing up and I was struggling for breath. What was wrong with us? In my ears, the rushing of blood and my heartbeat was the only sound.
Everyone's dead.
Shoko, Renju, Iris, Oda, Hitomi? Boss? Flesh remains, the mind is lost.
I couldn't do anything.
It's true.
Saito had me right where he wanted me. Nothing.
Well, we can kill him too.
Parallel worlds exist.
The word suddenly echoed in my head. I couldn't remember who or where or why, but I thought that if there really was such a world, then me in that world, I is another.
Could I have had a better future?
I prayed that I could. I felt my consciousness sink into a black abyss. I forgot what we did to this body. Why are we so hurt? And that's the end? That means we have one more ending. One more. We'll skip this, obviously, like we've been doing now. There might be a bit of talking, though. We'll see. Annihilation route. End. Well, that sounds pretty bad. It's a pretty bad ending. Annihilation. Yes. Does that mean there's no talking after that one? It's just going to unlock the last route that we're right at the end of already. Yep. Well, that's it. As far as I know, that's the last of the flowchart we haven't done, which we will be doing in the next episode. Probably be the last one. We'll see what happens. Pretty crazy, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.